You do your prospecting, you get a bite, you demo your solution to your prospect, and they're absolutely raving about your solution. They tell you they're going to go off internally to talk about this, and then absolutely nothing happens. You get ghosted, and you're sitting there wondering what on earth just happened. Well, you probably made one of the biggest mistakes in enterprise stakeholder management. Hi everybody, welcome back to the PayGo Academy YouTube channel. Welcome to another video. 7 years ago, I started a company that helps other businesses improve the way that they sell in an enterprise sales environment. We work with a very specific client profile. We only work with young bootstrap companies that are looking to break through the glass ceiling of just relying on word of mouth and referrals for their growth and for their client acquisition. If that sounds interesting to you, check out some of the videos on the channel. Subscribe if you like what you hear and see. Get involved in the comments section if you have any questions. So the thing I want to talk about today is probably the main reason why most enterprise sales deals fall through. It's about proper stakeholder management. Now, when you're operating in a high-ticket enterprise sales environment, you're going to have to deal with multiple stakeholders. There are multiple people that are involved in the decision-making process, and all of them are going to have to be treated somewhat differently because all of them look at this particular situation from their perspective. They're all looking to get something particular out of it that is particular to their situation, to their job role, and to what they are being paid to do at the company. So your first job is to identify where you get to open the door, where you get your entry points. Now, let's assume for the sake of this video that you know this. You know how your sales funnel works and you know where your ideal point of entry is. We're going to call that your champion, your internal sales champion. It's the person that you're going to do your initial presentation to, your initial demonstration if you'd like, and you're going to try to get them to advance with you. You're going to have to sell to them first and foremost, and they're going to have to acknowledge to you that what you have just shown them is to their liking and that they are looking and are willing to bring this into their organization. They are bought in, but the games then begin because they have to actually start bringing this to the other stakeholders. That's your first job. You got to get that first sale in, and that is typically the quote-unquote easy part of the gig because it is a one-on-one sales transaction. Pretty much you get to focus on what matters to them. You sell with their perspective in mind. But the problems typically start after that point in time. Once you get the so-called advance, once you get the confirmation that your champion is game, that they're fan, that they're willing to move this forward, what you have to do then is you have to slam on the brakes. Because if you let them fly solo, if you let them just wander off into the organization to talk about your solution, present your solution, I can almost guarantee it's going to fail. Maybe every once in a while they'll do the presentation properly internally and it will work out, but more often than not, they will completely mess up the way that they are supposed to sell it internally. Because make no mistake, that's what they're going to be doing. Once you have the initial advance, once you have done the initial sale with your champion, they become part of the sales team and they actually have to go off and do a part of the heavy lifting, and you will not be part of that. You cannot join them when they will go and have their internal meeting with perhaps their line manager or some of their peers to talk about the solution. No, you will be away from that situation. You will be not present, and so you have to rely on them to do a proper job. The way that you sell to your champion, again, is trying to convince them that it's going to be beneficial to their particular situation. Now, they will have a particular job role that will not align with the job role of typically their managers. They have a different vantage point. They have a different perspective. So if your internal champion is going to sell it off of the basis of what you told them, essentially selling the benefits to your champion, but they're trying to sell it to their manager, there's a big chance that the manager is going to look at that and he's not going to get the value. He's not going to see the value. So again, what you have to do then is you have to prep your champion. You have to tell them that great that you're on board, but I need you to tell me right now what the next step is in this process. What's the next thing that has to happen for us to be able to move this forward, for me to be able to help you to kind of try and integrate this solution into the organization. They'll typically tell you that they'll need to go and talk to somebody about this, and then it's about outlining who that person is, what drives them, what their job role is, what their responsibilities are, and trying to uncover what their decision-making process is going to be driven by. It's unlikely going to be the same than what you used to convince your internal champion. So you have to have that internal preparation session with your champion. You have to get them to think about that. Some of it they will know, some of it they will not know, but they will be able to uncover most of that. And then together you have to prepare the way that your champion will present to their manager or whoever it is within the organization that they actually have to go and bring this concept to. They have to kind of almost forget all the great things that they believe the solution will bring. And they have to talk about the great things that will matter to their manager or to whoever it is that they're going to bring this solution to. They have to be able to talk about what will drive them, what will kind of push their buttons, what will make it click for them. And that is something that if you do not prepare your internal champion, they will not be able to do because they are not salespeople. The kind of logical thing for them to do is to get very excited and to go and talk in all of their excitement about this solution to their manager in a way that excites them. Again, that is not necessarily what will excite the manager. And so then in line with continuing to push for the advance, you have to equally prep your champion about the next step. Once they've done the presentation, it has to be crystal clear for them what they're trying to get their manager to agree to. Is it a meeting with you, the actual salesperson, so that they can actually see the solution or learn about the solution for themselves? Or are they simply trying to get a thumbs up, a validation from them so that they can move this forward? Whatever it is, it needs to be clear so that, again, you can instruct your champion that at the end of whatever meeting that they're having, at the end of their internal presentation, they are going for that CTA, they are going for that call to action, and they are very clearly asking for the advance, asking for the yes or the no. That concept is already difficult if you are a salesperson, let alone if you're going to have to instruct your champion to do this, who is essentially unlikely to be a salesperson. So that is the bottom line. Within enterprise sales, there are multiple stakeholders and you have to map them out clearly. You have to figure out what their perspective is, what drives them, and then you have to kind of create the plan to go and approach these people. And a lot of that approaching isn't going to be you, at least it's not going to be the initial approaching. You will likely be there to be a part of the convincing, but of a lot of the initial kind of turning of the wheels, a lot of the initial internal debate will happen without you being there. It's your job to make sure that everybody is properly prepared. When they go off and talk to a particular person, they talk to them in a way that will resonate with them. And that is not going to be the way that your solution resonated with your champion, at least not entirely. It's not going to be a one-on-one match. So there you have it, stakeholder management for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some value out of it. If you did, then a thumbs up would be massively appreciated. It helps the channel. Also, if you would like to be updated with this type of content, then again, subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in one of the next videos. Thank you very much and have a productive day.